started, but I'm going to tell you why here in a moment, because there's a lot to unpack, and it's one of these films that unfortunately for me, I really was disappointed by. Not to the level where I'm going to sit on this stream tonight and hammer it, right? It's not going to be one of those things, but it is going to be a film that I have issues with. I'm going to detail those momentarily. First, what I'm going to do is welcome you here to MMT on this Thursday night. We do these live. We are not like all these other people who tape things and read from a teleprompter. This shit is live at 8:09 here in Los Angeles, 11:09 in New York, where this film takes place. Have a look at Smile 2, directed by Parker Finn.
Something really crazy is happening to me. I need to stop it, but I don't know how.
It's because you're a horrible person.
What did you say? Gemma? I keep seeing his face everywhere.
This thing feeds off all the bad shit in your head.
And there is the 1 minute and 17-second trailer. Perfect, right? It gives you everything you need. You know what's going on. You didn't see the first film. It's basically you look into the eyes of someone who's possessed, and then you take on the demon. Think, The Ring, right? We've seen movies like this before. It's not like it was an original concept when Parker Finn unleashed the first one 2 years ago. But he did his own thing with it, and I think that there's so much to like about that film. And you carry that over here to Smile 2, and you imprint a story here now with the apparition latching onto a Britney Spears / Lady Gaga pop star, which is an interesting concept, right? I really like that. And I think that as that for the initial story, right? When we take that and we say, let's operate there, that's good. And I think what you see when you watch this film is the same thing that you see from the first film. Parker Finn's a very talented visual storyteller, okay? He is very adept at camera usage, and not just that, it's the framing, it's the shots. The film opens up here tonight with a oneer. When you go back to the end of the first film, we carry that into 2, and we have almost a James Bondish right start that's really tight, really strong. I think it's probably the best part of this film. And then we open up with another badass title sequence, right? Remember the first one, second one, very good as well. I'm all in, right? I'm here. I'm like, this is where I want to be. I'm loving what I see. And then you also get a performance out of Naomi Scott that's one of the better of the year, right? It's not just she's very good in a horror film. This is a strong performance for any film. And I had to think a moment ago, I was talking to Gone Girl before we jumped on the stream live, and I was like, where have I seen her before? She was in Aladdin. So, how you like memory hole movies? Oh, I memory hold Aladdin, the 2019 live action. You got all about that. What? She's super cute, right? No question about that. We can state that for the record. My God, like adorable. But she's got something about the way that she is playing this possessed, right, by a demon, and she's got to go through all of the emotions, as you saw in that trailer, of losing her shit throughout the entire film. And she is the rock here that luckily, if that piece doesn't work, then we're talking about a film that really is not going to work, right? Obviously, we talk about that so often that if you don't have a central performance of a character that is essentially the entire movie that is of an elite level, then you're screwed, okay? You're not here. You are elevated plus in this role from Naomi Scott. Here's where the issue of this film comes in, and it's a major issue. It's Parker Finn, the writer. There's so much in this film that starts into one place and then comes back and then goes somewhere else, and it doesn't quite work. In fact, I would argue that a lot of the scenes here aren't placed properly. Like, some of the flashbacks should be further ahead or earlier, right? Listen, this is a film, I can tell you right now, there is not a question in my mind. If you wanted to give me a film that I would go in on a test screening, me by myself, the studios want to do this shit, they have any fucking balls, they'll allow me to do this, but of course they don't, because Weber will savage my film, he'll say it's bad. Well, do you want to make a better film? That's the question. Do you want to make a stronger product? Then have me come in, show it to me, and I'm going to tell you right now, Parker Finn, we've seen this with directors who, after they come out with something that is really strong, such as Smile, let's go back and look at Joker 2. A lot of you do not like Joker 2. What did Warner Brothers do? And here, Paramount, they ceded virtually everything to the director. Some of you are, I know this gets people so angry. I know I have directors watch. How dare you, Weber? Directors should be allowed to do whatever they want. We need more Damien Leones, where 10-year-old kids are butchered in bedrooms and little arms and legs are on the floor. That's what we need. Okay. Just hear yourself when you say that, by the way. Just listen and then take that in, look in the mirror, and evaluate what kind of person you are. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You can't cede all of the power to the director. Not all the time, okay? Some directors earn it, and I'm not going to argue that some have passed that with very little in the way of notes or any guidance, but, and I'm not saying Parker Finn wrecks this film. This is not Maxine, right? Maxine is an act of destruction of a trilogy. What a terrible third act. I mean, again, Ty West, I will bash you every single time I get a chance on this stream. Fucking awful. Too kind. That's too kind. An abomination. An embarrassment. Tarantino destroyed is what Maxine is. This is not that, but this is a film that really needs to be evaluated by someone who's smart and get some things corrected. One of the things that I would absolutely do to this film is I would compress the shit out of it. It is 2 hours and 10 minutes or so. It should come in at 145, 150. The first one came in at 150. This film should come in at 150. Yes, the scale's larger, but I would argue that you think it's larger, but it's not really. It's one of those faux scale films, right? It feels like it's big because it's taking place in a concert, kind of like a Trap, right? Trap feels bigger than this film, to be honest with you. You know, we really only get to the concert at the very end of this film. But when you look at the individual scenes here, it's not that much larger of a scope. It's not. Trust me, I can see these things, right? I'm telling you, when I watch these things, I'm watching it through all kinds of lenses. And one of the lenses is producer lens, right? What did this film cost? Where am I seeing the money? Okay. When I look at a Joker, Folie à Deux, go back to that. A lot of you like, how'd that end up at $200 million? Well, first of all, you have the salaries of everyone involved. That's going to jack your price up. Here, you don't have that, right? Naomi Scott's not even getting the $12 million Lady Gaga. She might have got $2 million for this film, maybe less. I mean, she could probably lean on Aladdin, but it's not like Naomi Scott is a name, right? That you all are like, oh yeah, I know who that is. Okay. But when you look at this film, you're looking at a film that has to be, there are spots in this film that have dead space. There's a portion of this film where she calls her old friend who she apparently broke ties with, and they had real nasty falling out, and they get back together. That whole thing needs to be compressed. I saw people going to the restroom, right, left. People were like nodding off. This film has dead space that needs to be absolutely trash compacted down. I see it all the time. I see it here again. Paramount, you should have done that. And listen, I'm available. Did you guys fucking understand? Studios, do you not fucking get this? Sorry, I got to drop F-bombs because you don't understand. I'm here. I'm down the fucking street. I can be there in Paramount's like 20 minutes. Okay. Warner Brothers is like 3. I could ride my bike to Warner Brothers and tell you what to do with Joker. Although here's the thing though. I told you guys with Joker 2, I would not have that many notes for that film. I think you guys are all going to be completely and utterly wrong. When you go back and watch Joker 2 in a year or two, when you jump off the haterade and you stop ingesting it and get off the train of hate, and you actually watch that film, you're going to be like, that's actually really strong. I know I'm right. So I'm good with that. I'm 100% good with that. But when you look at the opportunity for me to come in and fix these things, I can do it. I can at least make it better. But here's the other thing. It's not just about the compression. Here's the exact note. In this film, there's so much, right? When you get a situation where someone's losing their mind, right? Psychological thriller. But this is definitely more horror, right? Because there's a lot of gore in this film. It's not Terrifier 3, right? Where we're sticking live rats down someone's throat. Why you guys want to watch this shit, I do not know. You can't explain it to me. Don't even try. Don't do it. Just don't do it. But when you look at what's real and what's fake, right? Whenever someone's going through a psychological breakdown and they're literally losing their shit, you've got to know what's real, what's tangible, and what is not. And the problem with this film is so much of it is in Naomi Scott's head, Sky Riley's head, that you're like, wait, what is real? What is not? And as we get to the conclusion of this film, without ruining, by the way, did I do like a 10, 20-minute gore lead in where I talk? I'm not saying the full name, just said gore. Like, here's what the movie is. No, I'm not reading you the synopsis. I'm telling you, just here's the basics. I don't ever ruin a film. Okay, occasionally, not tonight. When you get to the finality, when you get to the conclusion, here's what I'm going to tell you. Is that when you start in one spot and you end up in another and you don't explain how you got there, and then we're left to decide, wait a second, are we here? Are we there? What's real? What's not? That's a fail. So Parker Finn, going back to this, Parker Finn, the writer, is an issue here. And I wish that someone who was smart when it came to screenplay would have gotten to Parker Finn before he started shooting this film and cleaned up and meshed where we have the, is this real? Is this not? Is it reality? Is it in the imagination? I need that more concrete. Okay. I don't need it spelled out for me, but I don't need to be leaving the theater saying, wait a second, what was the whole point of freezing her if okay, that's all I'm going to say. Watch it. You know, you'll be with me every time I'm right. Every fucking time I'm right. 80% lower than I wanted to be on this film. It is what it is. It's a B-. It's still recommended by me, but not nearly as much as I really wanted to come out of this film and rave about. It just doesn't happen. And it gets back to what I said. Listen, studios, for the 150 millionth time, we haven't done that many streams. We've done a lot. Every stream I say this. Bring me in. I'm down the street. I'll clean your shit up. I'm not going to tell anybody. You think I'm going to come on the stream and say I went in and cleaned up Smile 2 today? Hell no. But I'm also not going to do it for free. You're going to fucking pay me because I'm going to help you make a better film because that's all I do. When I come on here is the evaluation is not just like, I didn't like it. It didn't work. I'm telling you why it worked, why it didn't work, and how we can make it better. And throughout this film, I'm saying to myself, this film needs to be made better. It needs to be tightened. It needs to be made more clear. It needs to be improved. And that is a bad note. It's a really bad note. Tonight's kit is Bournemouth, by the way. Little Love, it's trying to go with like kind of like the jagged in the film. She takes like a piece of mirror and is like cutting herself, that whole thing. So it's kind of, I guess there'd be something like that. And I went with Bournemouth. So there we are tonight. Comment time here on this Thursday night. Thanks for being here live. As always, MMT, we do it live. No teleprompter. One thing I did like about this film, there's a couple things I want to mention that aren't really spoilers, but there are things that I really, really got a kick out of. One, during the movie, her phone goes off and it's going off and off. She's meeting with the guy, just, trying to figure out how to get the spirit out of her. And her phone goes off and it's first is like her mom and then it's her manager. And the next person is CAA, Creative Arts Agency. I was like, that's such a good touch. Parker, I know someone's going to show you the stream. I hope they do. Brilliant. Okay. Brilliant stuff because CAA is probably the agency you're with. Creative Arts Agency is the #1 agency in the world. And then, no, it gets better. After that, the phone rings again and it's 42 West. For those of you, some of you are like, what the hell? These jokes only work for people that are insiders here in Hollywood. 42 West is a major publicity firm here. They do all the PR for a number of big films. So obviously Parker's probably a client. He's like, let's have CAA and then 42 West. I know that's very much of a niche MMT thing, but that's what you get from us. You're not getting a guy in Dayton, fucking Ohio, right? You're getting a guy who's here in Hollywood who's been to these places. I've been to CAA multiple times. I do this stuff. I live this stuff. That's why I tell you guys, when you watch this, it's as close to Hollywood as you're going to get, and also as unvarnished and authentic and fearless as it gets. No one can touch us. It's not even a contest. You all get fucking destroyed. It is napalm overdone MMT champions. Views or not, I don't give a shit. We are the champions. Play queen, roll it. Here we go. Fake account. Thank you. $5. Hopefully you're entertained by my rant here tonight. Listen, I'll tell you, the funny thing about this stream, I say this a lot, it's a live thing. How many times have I said this? If I were to do this stream again from the top, it might change. That's the mercurial nature of what you're watching. It's always literally in the second of what I'm saying, and some things just pop in and I grab and access. I feel like Tom Cruise in Minority Report, where I'm grabbing things, right? And he's moving in this and shit. This is me as I'm operating here. I'm going like this. And by the way, to the loser who called me out on YouTube, this motherfucker came after me on YouTube with like 92,000 subscribers. And he was like, oh, look at you. And I said, listen, don't come after me if you have 92,000 subscribers and you've got 400 views. I've got 1,000 views on 2,500 subscribers. So you do the fucking math, loser. And by the way, I watched your live stream. I would fucking go to bed watching your shit. You're terrible. I would destroy you every day. Whatever your name was, Wolfman. You're fucking nothing. I will destroy you on a live stream, and you know it. If you're watching, someone cut it and send it to that bastard. You're fucking nothing, dude. I destroy you. Don't come after me again. Don't do it. Don't even try. It's not a contest. You, my friend, are proverbial paint drying on a wall. Remember that. That's why you have a return rate on your views at like 0.2%, because who wants to watch that? You're not even interesting. You're not intelligent. You have nothing to offer. And your accent, I couldn't even understand what the fuck you were saying. How about that? You want to play games? Fuck off. All right, guys. Here we go. That's how we do it. That's how we do it, man. And listen, it is what it is. If you don't like it, too fucking bad. The stream's what it is. Osgood Perkins, Ty West, Parker Finn. Better horror directors than writers. Dan, this is a great comment, and I would agree 100% with you on all three of these. Now, here's the thing. I've said it so many times on the stream. Just because you're a good director does not mean you're a great writer. Conversely, a great writer does not make a great director. Go look. Okay, you want to see the perfect example of someone who's a great writer and not a great director. Look no further than the man who wrote The Social Network. When Aaron Sorkin tries to do his own films, oh my God, Trial of the Chicago 8. And even the Des and Lucy movie, which is better, but still not a great film. What a writer. Sorkin, not a director, okay? When he works with Fincher, a director who can write, but really a director who works in simpatico with a writer, then you're talking about the secret sauce. I think we have a problem in Hollywood. We have too many people who are writer-directors, and we need more directors and writers working in tandem to create a film. Ty West, better director. Parker Finn, better director. And Osgood Perkins, 100% better director. All three of these this year were proven by what I just said. Just because, listen, I've said this 100 times before on this stream before. I'm doing this live. Most people can't do what I do. Most people can't even touch it. Certainly not that loser who came after me. Oh my God. Go watch the stream. She's like, holy shit, dude. Is your aim to put people in a coma? You're not even interesting. You're not, there's nothing about what I'm watching. Who told you to even be on a stream? You're terrible. But that's the thing. We have a world where everybody thinks they can do everything. That's not true. Okay. I'm better live than I am taped. I'm not saying I'm great. We're better than that guy. Fucking 100%. But here's the truth. Most people think and get told they're great at everything. That's not true. 100% not true. I know I have my own faults. I know I have my own weaknesses. No question. I'm not going to argue that. But I also know what strengths are. And my strengths, I understand. I think a lot of people don't understand their strengths, and they think they have every tool. And they don't have every tool. You might have some tools and missing other tools. That's why you need someone to work with you. We wrote our script, right? Our script is done. Our script is now getting final massage to it, right? And I'm telling you right now, The script that we wrote could never have happened if not for two people coming together. It would never have happened me by myself. It would never happen by my partner by himself. It would have to be a sandwich of ideas. Otherwise, it wouldn't have worked. We need more of that in Hollywood because that's the key. You need to find someone who brings the best out in you. I sound like I'm like marriage counselor here, but you do. You need to, especially creatively, you might be missing a piece. Well, go find the person that allows you to access what you're missing. Okay. And so that's the advice that we just don't see often because, again, we live in a world where everyone's great. Everyone's perfect, especially the young kids. You can't do anything wrong. Gen Z. Here's your trophy. What did you do to earn it? I don't know, but here's my trophy I got. But you're not that good, but I have a trophy. Right? I have to be good. That's the world we live in. When you really look at these people, I think that's one of the reasons you see a lot of people that do all the weird shit. Listen, this is gonna be, here comes Weber. I think there's people that do things, you look at some of the stuff people do for attention because they really aren't that interesting. So they're like, well, how about I try something different? I've said this before, and this isn't an anti-trans thing I'm about ready to say, because remember, if I were anti-trans, I would have hammered a film like National Anthem. I would have hammered anything that's not the thing. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Go back to Dylan Mulvaney. I've said this before. Dylan Mulvaney is one of the most uninteresting, unfunny people. I mean, at some point you say, are you doing this for attention? That's the world we live in now. And the reality is if you're not that interesting, then do something that you're good at. Not everybody can direct. Not everybody can act. Not everybody can stream. It's not something you all can do. Super chat. Can't decide to go local AMC on Friday night until Ace, better known as One Man Siskel and Ebert of the 20s. There's a verdict. Fake account. Thank you. I think that's fair. I think that there's nobody. This is also fair. As raw as we get and as nasty and as really rough as we play, no question. There's nobody in this space who operates from an objective level as much as me. Nobody. And you're going to say, well, look what you just said about too bad. That's a decision. That is my opinion based on bringing the intel in and me processing it and then rendering a verdict. It's not like I just instantly said, this is this. You see, that's what we need more of. We don't have that. We have people who have agendas. We have people who go into something expecting it to be great. They're going to definitely say it's great. It happens all the time. And then look, I saw Masterpiece on the trailer we just ran. Really? This is not a masterpiece. Smile 2 is definitely not a masterpiece. Could it have been a better film? Yes. It's a real long way from Masterpiece. Again, it sounds like I'm hammering this film tonight. I'm just disappointed by it. Go back and watch the Maxine stream. I'm not as disappointed as I was as Maxine. But whenever I have high expectations for the next film, then I'm going to, if it doesn't meet them, I'm going to be really more harsh on it than probably you'd expect. Go back to Joker, and I know a lot of you right now are screaming, Joker, you like Joker. Listen, I gave you my reasons. That's a very well-made film, okay? I like cinema. That's the cinema. That's cinema. Whether you liked it or not, I know you didn't like what the character, what he did with Arthur, what he did with Joker, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it. But from a filmmaking perspective, that is a strong film. I don't like musicals. That's your prerogative. That's your preference. That's fine. I don't go into these films with boxes that have to be checked other than, is it a well-made film? I don't go into a film saying it has to be this, and this, or I'm going to be disappointed. Like Maxine, I was open to whatever he wanted to do, right? Whatever Ty wanted to do, set in the 80s, serial killer, Night Stalker, let's go. Oh, and then it's like the worst version of that. Yeah, it has some moments, but I mean, there's so much bad shit in Maxine, right? When you have them chasing each other around on the Universal lot at the Psycho House, terrible. I mean, that gets back to Ty West, the writer, not good. Parker Finn, the writer, better here, but still not great. And then Osgood Perkins actively wrecks Longlegs with the supernatural bullshit doll stuff that happens. That's bad. And look at, you talk about another one, opens tonight. Most disappointing film of the year based on the raves I'm hearing versus what actually the film is. Go wait till you see Anora. Give me a break. Sean Baker, director. Sean Baker, director. Sean Baker, writer. Right? I mean, Goose, chasm. 50 feet, 500 feet of crap. Moneyball. This is what we got. Listen, Sean Baker is a director. He's not a writer. He's not a writer. He's a very marginal writer. Marginal. I would argue marginal. And Sean, I've said it before. Cut it. Someone cut it. I know Sean watches stuff on Twitter. Cut it and send it to him. Sean, you need to work with a writer. You cannot write your stuff anymore. No way. And if Anora gets a Best Picture, my fucking God, we're so screwed. We are so screwed. That film is in no way, shape, or form a Best Picture. There's no. That's way worse than Everything Everywhere. If Anora gets a Best Picture, it's worse than Everything Everywhere by a long shot. It's not even close. Anora is, it's such a bad film from a screenplay perspective. Such a bad film. And it's so unpleasant to sit through. Like I said, would I rather sit through Anora or Terrifier? I mean, I don't know which one I'd rather sit through again. No. Animotion. Put him in timeout. Animotion's in timeout. This is so fucking wrong. I can't even tell you how wrong this is. This is wrong. Just blow it out. When I'm going to address that, there's not even this is fucking wrong. This is like one of the worst comments I've ever seen. Sean Baker is a terrible writer when you watch Anora. It literally who's writing this shit? Did a Gen Z? Oh no, it's a guy who's a Gen Xer. What? Did a Gen Z write this and hand it to you, Sean? Anora is not a good film. I will absolutely bury that film if I get every chance I get. Fuck Anora. Let me say it again. I said it during the stream. That Nora's terrible. Terrible film. I hated every second of that film, other than the opening scene. Let's do a check here of the tickets tonight. And we will see where this film is going to come in. I'll give you my projector. I've been good about this, right? Really, really, really good about this. Because, listen, last week I called Terrifier 18.3 or no 18.5. It ended up at like 18.7 with the actual. Wasn't it a higher? I was right there. I mean, we're always right on this. So you're watching the right channel. We fucking kill it, man. I mean, we're just the competition doesn't have a chance. But watch your boy Wolfman, the horror guy. Go fall asleep. Wolfman, don't do live. You're incredibly dull. Don't do it. Don't do it, dude. Seriously, don't embarrass yourself. You're an embarrassment when you go live. It is literally like someone stop the cringe button. The cringe meter is through the fucking roof. You're terrible live. Don't do it. You need a guest. You know why you need a guest? Because you're boring. And your guest was boring. And you're boring asking questions to the guest. Wolfman, the fact you have 93,000 subscribers is truly one of the biggest mysteries of life. Let me guess, you talk about horror movies. People just watch you for the content. They don't watch you, right? They don't watch you. They watch you for the content. You know what I'm saying, guys? You feel me? Who feels me on that? Who feels me on that? They don't watch it for him. They don't watch it for that loser. They watch it for the content, right? In other words, if I were to come on here and talk about Star Wars and to talk about fucking Marvel movies and talk about Lord of the Rings and anti-woke stuff, you'd be watching for the content. You're not watching for the person. You're watching because you want to hear someone go off on Lord of the Rings. That's what well, if you talk about a horror film, you know, you got your horror audience. Well, guess what? You probably raved about Smile too. Because that's what you gotta appease that core audience. I don't appease anybody around here. I don't care. I don't care if anyone likes the channel. You think I give a shit? You think I look at the views? Think I care? Every time I play a trailer and I play a song, guess what? It's demonetized. I don't care. I do this because I enjoy it. And I hope someone in Hollywood sees it so I can hammer. And Sean Baker can watch that you're a terrible writer and Nora's terrible. Neon's not going to let me come into another movie. Too bad. Neon, you should tell him it's not a good film. I don't care if it won the Palm. It's not good. Seat check, Smile 2. That looks good. It's a smaller screen. These are some later screenings here tonight. We're at 8:37 here in Los Angeles. Let's check the 9:10. These are regular. This is not the Dolby. That looks really good there. You guys can see that. Let's go and look at Universal and see if they have anything there. They have Prime at 11:15. The 8:15 just went off. So this is late, man. But it is a horror film. It's pretty dead. Let's see if we can get like a 9:10 at Universal. Looks solid. Let's go to let's do Century City. And there's a 10:10. These are all pretty late. It's medium. Okay, here is my projector. I have to actually put it in because I had last week's projector in there. Let's go at 23.5 million on that. Let me hit return and save it, and then we are ready to go. Did I just delete it? I think I just know. There it is. 23.5. We'll take it at that. That's what the first one was at 22, I think, somewhere in that neighborhood, right? Again, 200 million on the worldwide on this. So the first one. This film, I don't think we'll get there. Here's what happened. Smile 2 ran into Terrifier 3. Remember what we talk about? We talk about wave theory all the time. We talk about you don't want to be on the other side of a wave. Terrifier 3, although it was a smaller wave at 18 point whatever, it takes horror oxygen out of the marketplace. Paramount definitely was not thrilled to see Terrifier doing as well as it did last weekend. Probably will hold pretty decently this weekend as well. So what you end up doing, remember we talk about this, whenever you have a film that's very similar and you're the second film in, you pay a price. So Terrifier 3 did better than most people expected. We had it at 18.3, 18.5. We were right on it. So no one else, we knew that. But when you look at this film coming in on the heels of that, you take oxygen out of the marketplace and then you're left with a smaller audience because they just went to see Terrifier 3 and they might sit this one out or wait a few weeks. So Smile 2 might end up doing better on the long haul, maybe. I just think this film's not going to be as successful as the first, especially after watching it. I don't dislike it, but I just am not as thrilled as I want to be here on this film. Couple more comments and we'll get out of here. I'm going to do Sunday night more of whatever else is happening in the world. I just want to focus on Smile tonight. There's a lot of stuff going on. I want to talk about it, and we will discuss all that coming up on Sunday. This is really just all about this film here tonight. I like doing that. Smile 2 is amazing. I'm glad you liked it, Michael. I'm not saying disliked it. I'm just telling you, there's things that have to be fixed. But listen, it's not this kind of film where I'm going to say you're wrong, right? When you come out of Anora. If you come in here and tell me Anora is an amazing film, then we're just going to ban you, like Animotion. We love that Animotion likes the stream. We just can't have comments like that. It's really anti-correctness, and we can't have that. I saw you, Joseph. Well, come up and say hi. I mean, I'm right there. I'm sitting there. Although I will say, I like to kind of slink in and slink out. Gore was there too, so I see Gore. And after I called him out the other night for having his chauffeur, I don't think he was so thrilled to see me. But whatever. I mean, I only tell the truth. So what do you want? What do you want me to do? I'm glad you liked it, Joseph. I get it. Listen, I think the audience will largely like the film. I'm just harder on these things. I hope you guys appreciate that. I don't just come in here. I'm not Zach Pope. It's so great. I think Parker Finn is the best thing ever. Or our boy from the horror thing with his 93,000 subscribers. I think they're paid. Most of them he probably bought a bunch of bots. And he's like, well, Smile 2 is a really good film that I liked. It was scary and really building the lore of the first film. It's something like that when I watched him. It's like, you're dude, not professional. Some of these people you watch, you're like, whoever said you should have a microphone? I'm still super excited for this one. Just watch Smile, awesome film, generally scary. Well, listen, Vault of the Future, I agree, and it's a better film. Smile's better than Smile 2. I said it at the start of the stream. I'm saying it now as we get ready to wind down the stream. There's many reasons. I think, like anything, the initial impact of an idea is going to be stronger than the second. Almost universally. Look at Joker. I mean, what an example. Even though you didn't like what you saw, still, the novelty of the R-rated, hard R Joker, Fleck, blowing people's brains out on television, all of that dissipated in 5 years. And I mentioned this was Terrifier 3 last week. The first kill, people laughing, having fun. Second kill, by the fourth or fifth kill, you're like, okay, I get it. Art's going to savage somebody, and we're going to be forced to watch it for 20 minutes. It's diminishing returns. And I think this film, even though I love Naomi Scott, I like the visuals. I think the screenplay needs cleaned up. I like the music. Music's strong. I played the track off the beginning. I told you guys, great. It's going to be on the workout playlist tomorrow when I hit shoulder day tomorrow. So that's exciting. A couple more comments. We're out of here, and we'll go only a little over 30 minutes here tonight. It's fine. I don't mind doing these shorter streams. Tarantino, the best writer-director. David, it's a great comment. I agree with you. And listen, I think one thing I respect about Tarantino is if he's not ready for his film, he's not going to make one. I think a lot of directors feel like I've got to make a film or I have to. Like a great example of this is Maxine. Ty said, I've got to wrap my trilogy. And remember, Pearl came out. He shot X and Pearl like virtually back to back, right? So he's like, I got to make Maxine. I got to make Maxine. Well, the problem was he wasn't ready for Maxine. He had the idea sort of sketched out for a Maxine, and he didn't really finish it. And he needed to have someone else come in and help him clean that thing up and really make it stronger, certainly on that third act. And because you're in a rush and you feel like you have to bring it out, you shouldn't. I say this. I'm doing a live stream. Doesn't matter, man. These things are in and out. I'm out. Doesn't matter. I don't really give much thought to them, as you can probably tell. Here's the reality, is that if I'm making a film or writing our script, I want to make sure it's perfect. I'm not about to just say it's not done. If it's not, it's done. I think it's good. I don't have any issues. Like, sometimes you write writers out there, you know what I'm talking about. When you get to a certain point, you're like, I don't know where to go next. I don't have the finish. I don't have an element I'm missing. Our screenplay has everything there. It's nothing I need to change. What I want to see now is I want to get some notes from people, not you guys. You can't watch. You can't read it. From people that are in the industry. And I want to get a little feedback to see if we get the same thing, if we get similar notes, right? And that's why I think that it's important to give these films test screenings. But here's the problem. You're giving these test screenings to fucking idiots. You can't show these test screenings to someone who shows up for a $5 gift card on a Tuesday night at AMC Burbank. You need to bring me in. Can I just ask you a question, guys? Do you think it's the DEI fact of it? Do you think that it's like Weber's and a white guy and Gen Xer? He can't, because if that's the case, I can tell you this is why I already hammer Hollywood. And by the way, the screenplay might have something to do with that. Not DEI, but hammering Hollywood. Here's what I'm going to tell you. That's so fucking stupid. You should want somebody who's smart in the room to watch your film and to make it better. I don't care. DEI doesn't matter. I can't do it tonight. I'm not going to do it. If you are hiring someone based on the color of their skin, white, black, any color, you're fucking insane. That's so broken. It's a broken mentality. I'm right. I'm 100% right. I know I'm right. So I'm not gonna like play another way. There's one way here. You hire the best person. I'm the best person to come in here, watch your film, and tell you this is what you need to do. And the best thing is, I've proven it over the stream so many times, is that objectivity every single time. When I come into this thing, it is always coming from a balanced scale. It is never from, I want to savage a film. I want to love a film. Of course, I want to like every film. Someone said you want to be the contrarian. You just said Smile 2 is not as good as Smile 1. I never asked for that. I've never once walked out of a film and said, I can't wait to be the contrarian about Anora. Anora is not a great film from a screenplay perspective, with some of the most annoying characters and dumbest situations. And that's the best picture. That's the best picture. Running around Brooklyn looking for a Russian druggie because his wife that he just got, shotgun married to, we have to annul the marriage, and we'll have stupid situations with him acting like an idiot. And they go into bars. Have you seen him? Here's his picture on Instagram. This is fucking terrible. Guys, if I wrote Anora, and then I'm going to end the stream because I'm going to lose my shit. If I wrote Anora, and you guys read it, you guys say this is fucking terrible. But the world we live in it's Sean Baker. And Sean Baker made Florida Project. So that makes him brilliant. Well, Red Rocket was okay. But he made Florida Project, so everything he does for the remainder of time is good. No. If I wrote Anora, you'd say it's the worst script I've ever written. Who fucking wrote this? Terrible. It's like Pretty Woman, Cinderella garbage with Gen Z shit. Terrible. You'd be like, you wrote this? I would get attacked. On Twitter, the people that come after me, Weber wrote Anora. It's the worst movie I've ever seen. But because it's Sean Baker, all y'all lemmings, oh, he's so great, so brilliant. It won over at Palm. It won the Palm at Cannes. It's gotta be. It's so good because it's Sean Baker, Florida Project. Who thinks like that? We don't think like that. I don't have preconceived notions of things. I go into them and I evaluate them. I do not give higher or lower marks based on the sex of a director, the race of a director. It's dumb fucking thinking. Anyone who does that shit, just tell them they're fucked. They are so broken in the head. They're mental. It's a mental problem. It's a mental illness. 100%. If you are evaluating something based on the sex of the person who is making the thing, you're completely unreliable and you're also completely bonkers. It's not normal to think that way. It's normal to think, is this good? Period. End of discussion. Whenever I think about Weber Studios schooling filmmakers how to change their film, I always picture the Always Sunny episode where the gang gives notes on Thunder Gun 4, Where's the Dong? Listen, for this comment, I'm going to go. I've never watched Always Sunny. I'm going to watch this episode just for you, Jerk McMillan, because I've heard it's good. I know it has to do with Hollywood. I will watch, I spent so much time watching movies, and a lot of them bad this year, that I will do that for you. And that, I promise, between now and Sunday, I'll have some reactions to that. But yes, if the Hollywood studios had a fucking any kind of balls, right? Bring me in. I'll walk in the lot, Show it to me. Get everyone out of the room. I want everyone out. I want to sit in there. I don't want anyone around. As soon as it's over, bring in your 2 head of development and whoever else you want to bring in. Director, I don't want to have in the room because I'm going to say some things going to piss that director off. So I need the director to stay out of this. We'll go back quickly on Barbie. If I show me Barbie, I'm telling you right now, as soon as the movie's over, I'm like, it's gone. The whole Kubrick thing, that's gone. You got it in the teaser trailer. It's out. It's not in the movie. Is Greta Harris? Is she behind the glass? Greta, it's not in the movie. It's out. You got it in the teaser trailer. You're not putting the baby doll smashing the head Kubrick shit. Not happening. It's out. Do you hear me? Okay, now note number 2. That's how it works, okay? Because I'm right. I'm 100% right. That movie that was a terrible start to Barbie. The fact that I like that movie more, that's one of the most maddening movies I've ever sat through, by the way. Like hate, just like seesaw the entire time of Barbie. I will come in and fix your shit. Bring me in. But I'm telling you, don't have the director in the room, because I would have said after watching Anora, is Baker around? Good. I don't want him here. He's not a writer. He's a director. Do not let him write anything ever again. Sean, put the pen down. Whoever wrote, whatever Gen Z wrote that shit for you, and you put your name on the script, you should be embarrassed. If I wrote that script, I get dragged for the next 10 years. That's it. It is what it is, man. This stream is what it is. Live from the City of Angels. We'll see you back here Sunday night. Come in with comments. Tell me what you want to see on Sunday night. I'll be open to a lot of stuff, including, I don't know, whatever you want to talk about. I'm totally open for it. There's something big that I was going to talk about. We'll talk about Sunday. I'll see you back here on Sunday night. Live. Well, breaking box office Sunday morning. Peace out. Live from the City of Angels. I'll see you next time. Bye.